As we move through the modules, our customer module, again, quite familiar to what you'll be used to. We've kept much of the structure the same. One thing you'll notice here is that I'm required to search before adding a customer, so this is just an additional option that's been added in. So if I want to add a customer, I can have a look through, check whether I've got the customer that I need, and if not, I can add in that customer, pop in the required details and save. And if I have that option turned on, it's going to tell me that we've already got a customer with that same email address, mobile phone or alternate phone number, and I can just click through and opt not to save that particular customer. So I can come in here and directly from here add any of the details. So you'll see once I'm within, so that is an option that's available, you can turn that off. Once I'm in here, you'll see we've got fairly familiar tabs. All of these details will migrate from your current software. All the fields will display labels to know what you're doing there. The data is very strongly validated, so if I go to enter an email address with a space address in it, it's going to tell me that that's not valid and that I can't save this record. So all of those fields are very strongly typed and the data validation is strong in there. As I come back to Alice, you'll see I've got a prompt note here. Working through the tabs, again, we have a default late payment fee setting here. That was finance charges. And where we've got the default setting, we're going to tell you what that default setting is. So there's no need to go away and find that from another setting. The default discounts, all the pricing levels will migrate through and operate very similarly to what you'll be used to. One change we've made here is the ability to include the pricing on packing slips. So that enables you to just use that same report but control whether this particular customer is going to receive pricing on their packing slips. Contract rates will all migrate over from your current desktop solution and operate very much the same way. We've got start date, end date, and the options here for fixed and percentage above or below. Sales budgets, you're able to import those so you can track sales budgets against your customers. The customer contacts are a little bit different. The way we manage who receives email addresses, email subscriptions and documents, these have now moved per contact. So you've got unlimited ability to send out email invoices to your customers. You can set that to as many contacts as you like. Again, because of that strong data validation, they're going to require a valid email address before you can set those email subscriptions. There's also the ability to deactivate a customer contact, which just allows you to maintain that data and retain that data. If someone leaves, you can turn them off, but that will record that perhaps they were loaded against an invoice or a job, and that data remains rather than overtyping. Delivery addresses operate much the same way. They're available on quotes and invoices and jobs. The Documents and Images tab are combined. We've got the ability to simply open up a transaction or download those, so those are immediately uploaded onto the server and available at all times. The custom fields have had a complete rewrite, so the custom fields are now unlimited. You can have a number of different types, including emails or URLs, multi-line custom fields, so you can add extra lines and notes into your custom fields. And one really handy inclusion is the ability to create your own custom lists. So for this particular example, I've created a custom list for my marketing. So you're able to use that right throughout the software. That is enabled right through every custom field that's available. And all of those settings are just available if you're a user to come in here and be able to enter all those data in your custom fields. The prompt notes have had a rewrite. We noticed there was quite a few prompt notes that are perhaps obsolete, should have expired, but they're still available there. So there's a few options in here. I can edit or delete this custom field, this prompt note. I can set a particular level for that. I can ensure that my users have to click, oh yes, I've read this, before they move past that prompt note. And we also have events, so I can set this if this is to do with how Alice likes things delivered. I could select this should only show on the pick and pack. Or if it's something to do with how she pays, I can set it for a customer account. So when the user goes to create a payment, that prompt note will show then, but not on the other two events. There's also, we can set that the prompt notes are effective dates. So if there's something that is only valid for a certain period of time, you can set your dates in here and say, I only want this to show from the 1st of August onwards. SMS sending is now set up via SMS Global. There's an API key. It's very easy to set up your own account with SMS Global and just copy the API key into the settings here. Once you've done that, you'll see that you have SMS records in here. You can see that all of the SMS records to this particular mobile phone number are recorded, much like a text message on your phone. And replies will come through to your SMS message log. So you can see here I've got some unread emails incoming, and I can mark those off as read, which will remove them from that log. So that mobile phone setting is available on, SMS setting is available on customer contacts as well. If you enter a mobile phone number on any of these contacts, you're able to send and receive emails directly from the software. Our inquiry screens are set up very much the same way as you'll be used to. The additional advantage here is just being able to actually link through and have a look at that particular invoice. I can either open that in a new screen or just come straight into the invoice. Again, there are filters on the top there, so if I want to check this customer payment, I can come through and click through right down to the invoice level. The balances tab and sales history will all be quite familiar. Invoices, quotes, being able to check any back orders, jobs, we can link straight through to these jobs from the inquiry screens. We can see the payment list, and again I can come and look at even unposted payments and work through those and link through them. The SMS messages again are recorded in here. And we can see right through all of the messages that have been sent to and from this customer. Working through our standard customer transactions, you'll find our quote screen here. And the transactions will all have a reasonably familiar feel. We've got the information about who we're quoting to in that top header, information about this particular quote in the middle section, and information about the lines that we're adding. You can see here we've got a couple of custom fields set up on our lines that are available there. We've got information about the products that I'm quoting. If the user is privileged to see costs, they'll be able to see the ability to check markups and margins. As I come into editing the quote, you'll notice I can show costs and profits, also the line weights and volumes. So you'll notice here I'm sending out some steel beams, but they don't have a volume or weight loaded. So you can see that for all lines and check that your total weight and volume are actually valid and are including all of those lines. As I go to add lines to this, you'll see I can simply add a product, and once I've typed in a valid code, the searches very strongly, and I can search anything, I can select anything from that search result, but also if I'm typing in the exact code there, I can just tab through those lines. We can see our price levels. I can set a specific price level or reset that pricing. And as I work through, you'll see I can add different line types, notes or separators, all of those typical line types that you will have noted and have available. Once I've created or edited my quote, I can save that. I can print my quote, and from there, if I've got a valid email address loaded against this quote to email to, I can email it directly from here, or just open it and email it separately. All of the forms and transactions, you'll notice, have a Documents tab up here. This allows me to add documents directly from my computer. I can drag and drop documents in here, and they will be saved against that document forever. Custom fields, again, can be defined for the header of the quotes, and again, those are unlimited custom fields with the full range of options for the data types that you want to load. Duplicating transactions has been improved to allow the ability to set the price, to copy your pricing, but also to allow you to update your sell costs and pricing. So if you've got a quote that has been around for a while, you can use the option to actually update it and send that out to your customer. Our product history is available on invoices and quotes, and that brings up the most recent sale of any product that this customer has bought. From here, I can just add a line into this quote or invoice, but also I can right-click and just have a look at this invoice. Come and have a look at this particular invoice, what happened on that invoice, all directly from this screen. I can also search within that product history screen. It's got powerful searching for all of the fields in this table, and I can search through order numbers, previous invoice numbers. Invoices list. Again, we open our invoices list with our pending invoices. It's very strong search functionality available in here, and that's whether you've included your posted invoices or not. So even with all my posted invoices in there, I'm able to search through very quickly and search for a order number. You can see that's highlighted there as it returns. This particular invoice is for a head office, so that's going to tell me who this is about to be charged to. And if I look at Swift Mowers as a customer, you'll see the ability to actually view branches that are linked to this head office customer. If I come in and look at the branches, you can see here I've got 2 branches linked to this customer, and from there I can transact with those head office branches. Bring back the unposted filter on my invoices screen. Once I've done that, you'll see there's been recently released is the supersession. So this is where you have a model that is no longer in stock or available, and you can see, I can hover over here and see that this product has been superseded. There's the additional benefit of allowing supersession to be controlled only when that product is no longer available. So if you only want to inform your users when that product, the original product, has run out, you can create settings to control that. So if I just go ahead and add that superseded product onto this invoice, you'll see that I've run out of the original product, and it's telling me what the new code is, and I have the choice here to use the superseded code or continue using the older code. Also recently released is the ability to add build-ups into your products, into your invoices and quotes. So build-ups are like an ad hoc kit set. They allow you the ability to combine a number of different products or GL codes into a group and control what your customer sees on their invoice and quote layouts. So you are able to, at any time, go back into this build-up and click in and see this. I'm not in edit mode at the moment, so I won't be able to edit it, but I can actually still have a look through double check my line weights and volumes, or show my costs and profits for this particular build-up. As I go to edit, I'll be able to open that build-up and I can add lines in. And you'll also notice that if I add a kit set, I'm prompted to have the option to load those components, and this leads itself really nicely to be able to create a template of a group of products. And if you want your users to be able to change the quantities of that product, perhaps you always want to include a delivery fee in here, you can include that in that kit set, and then have your users choose to change the quantities of those products. Components within a build-up are allocated. They're treated exactly like a product line as far as your sales analysis, your allocations, your auto-ordering. They're treated exactly like a product that's sold. But as we go to print the invoice, your user will only see this top line and the total quantity being sold and the sum. There's a couple of shortcuts here to actually apply a default markup to all lines or apply a discount to all lines, and that will just update your costs, your sell prices on that build-up. So as I go through and save that invoice, I come in. The customer back orders have been redeveloped with keeping in mind the feedback that we've had from users over the years. So as you come into your back order list, you'll see all of your open back orders. There's filters available to have a look at back orders that are fillable. So we can put filters on there, but also the ability to look back and see any back orders that in the past have been filled or have been cancelled. So you'll notice that if a back order is cancelled, we record exactly who cancelled that back order and what time and a reason on there. Filling the back orders is a matter of clicking and fill. If you've got a long list, you can auto-fill all, but you can see even once I've done this auto-fill, I've still got one on back order here. So I can choose to come in and just change the fill quantities on those. From here I can put a particular back order on hold or just auto-fill this particular product. Down here it gives me an indication of who's getting which invoices, and from there we can simply process those through to your pending invoices just the same way as they are currently processed. There's also the ability to run the customer back orders report, and again there's the ability to combine, we've combined those 2 or 3 reports into a single report, so you can run those and actually see all of your back orders that are available, and it's going to tell us on this screen whether the system considers this particular back order fillable, and again totals at the bottom there. We've developed a simple communications module. It is really just to cover those of you that are using the communications, the log in the desktop version. We can import these from your current version. They don't migrate, but we can import any important records for you. As we look into them, you'll see the ability is there to include documents on your customer communications. And one of the really nice things with this documents user interface is that if you're on a tablet or an iPad, if you click Add, it will ask you whether you want to take a photo. So if you've got reps or people out on the road wanting to take photos of merchandising stands, that kind of thing, they can actually add documents in here. And that same user interface is available right throughout the system wherever you see documents in there. Very simple communications log, the ability to add your notes and a follow-up date. And again, from here, you can, of course, just click your SMS button, or if you want to, click on an email address and send an email address directly from there. Relatively recently released was our late payment fees. These were in the past called finance charges. So as we saw earlier, you can set your finance charges per customer. You've got the ability there to go with your default setting or do not charge, or you can even set a custom rate per customer. We've introduced a terms and conditions signed option in there as well, which just allows you to filter to customers who you've confirmed have cited their terms and conditions and signed those. Late payments fees are accessed down the bottom here in the More Options menu. As I come in, you can actually see that somebody has already processed these relatively recently. You'll receive this prompt if late payment fees have been processed within the last 30 days, and it's going to tell you exactly who processed them and all the details of that. As I come in, I can filter down to my customer types. I'll just take that filter off as I don't have many customers loaded with that just yet. Select my date, and much like you do currently, we can just work on the 2-month balances or 3 months, excluding late payment fees. Let's go with, I don't want to charge anyone if it's less than $10. And you'll notice as I change those filters, the number of customers adjusts. So that's the number of customers we're about to tackle. And you'll notice this throughout the software that we're giving you a summary of exactly what's about to happen, how many customers you're looking at. As I go select, we're presented with a list here. There's quite a bit of information on this page. It's telling us when they last paid, when their last payment fee date was, but also if they've got unallocated payments. So this might give an indication that Jane has submitted a payment that we haven't allocated yet. From here, I can open up her customer inquiry, have a look at her balances, and even then just come in and create a payment for her so that we allocate those funds and make sure the late payment fee is being processed for the correct amount. Once I've got all my customers in there, I can select the customers that I'm going to process and post that away. That is going to create customer adjustments for me based on the financial setting. If that financial setting relates to a GL code that has a default of GST inclusive, those adjustments will be processed with GST, so it is more like an admin fee. Once I've selected the customers I want to process my payment fees for, I can adjust my default description here to say that's for June, and go ahead and process those late payment fees. Now, once I've done that, we often find that late payment fees are more of a deterrent than actually a fee. So we have introduced the ability for this and all customer adjustments to be able to come in and actually credit that fee. So we can add a description here and say that Alice paid minus the fee, and so we've got our payment through, and I can just say that's a reversal and confirm that adjustment reversal and go and pay those two off against each other. You'll see within each module as we work through, there are down the bottom import and export options. The best template for any of your imports is the export. We're constantly adding new features to the imports and exports, so your export spreadsheet is the best option. You'll find for customers, as we go to export, it will export the search, whatever is in this search result. So if I was to export this now, it will export anything that is returned by these search results, which allows me to do things like just to export my inactive customers or customers that are on stop credit. So if I was to export that, I'd get my inactive customers exporting. There's very, very strong data validation on the import files, and the import routine is controlled by the header rows of the import file. So if you only wish to import the customer account number and update all the sort keys, those are the only two columns that you'll need in your import. Imports without that an account number not loaded will create new customers. So that's the way that you can import many customers. If you're importing things like email addresses and they're not validated, you'll receive a report of which rows have invalid data, and nothing will be imported until everything is correct. So it can take a little bit of time to get those imports correct, but once it's done, you'll know that once the data has been imported, it's going to be really strongly validated and that data will be available in your system ready to use.